The disciples said to Yeshua, "We know that thou wilt go away from us. Who is it who shall be great over us?" Yeshua said to them, "Whoever or wherever you have come, you will go to James the righteous, for whose sake heaven and earth came into being." Esteemed viewer, most honorable, notable, and noble subscriber, it must have been truly heartbreaking after all these years, after all the lessons, direct as well as in the form of countless parables, after shedding constant examples. What a question. Who is it who shall be great over us? I ask you, why is it that people have such an inherent need to be slaves, to serve? If not priests, then psychiatrists. If not kings, then politicians. If not nobility, then demagogues who usurped power by force. For example, recent history of Central America, what's going on, South America, is such a painful example of this human weakness. No sooner had one regime been disposed of by a gallant junta, always in the name and at the cost of the oppressed, when the new regime became the oppressors. Like some strange capricious dance of a snake swallowing its own tail. In a sense, we all seem to be doing the same thing at our own individual level. Who shall be great over us? Who shall be great over us? James? James the righteous? Wherever you have come, whatever state of consciousness you have reached, go to James the righteous. After all, it is for him that this marvelous dualistic system came into being. The heaven and the earth, the two states of consciousness, which immediately show the results of your thoughts, decisions, and actions. But most of us, as I mentioned in my previous video offerings, information disseminations from the Umbanda the New Earth Ashram for compassion and strength, life is an eternal process of becoming, of self-empowerment, of becoming into your I am presence, of establishing your inner kingdom in this 3D fallen earth, which is the portal, the golden age timeline to the new earth. Now, James in the New Testament is the English equivalent of Enoch. And remember, Jesus said he came to cast fire upon the world. Fire is cleansing your consciousness. Jacob is James in the New Testament, the man who is already aware of his spiritual nature. That is who James the righteous represents. Go to him, your spiritual nature, your inner kingdom. James is the righteous. He is thinking right. He has already started. Until this first spark of enlightenment, he was dead. Go to him. Go to your inner kingdom. Go to the very gateway. Knock upon the gate. Open the gate. Lift the barrier. Step into your own power, your own inner kingdom. Because if any of this makes any sense to you at all, then you are James on that path at the gate. Go into your own heart. Jesus further said to his disciples, make a comparison to me and tell me whom I am like. Simon Peter said to him, thou art like a righteous angel. Matthew said to him, Thou art like a wise man of understanding. Thomas said to him, Master, my mouth will not at all be capable of saying whom thou art like. Yeshua said, I am not thy master, because thou hast become drunk from the bubbling spring which I have measured out. And he took him, he withdrew. He spoke 3 words to him. Now when Thomas came to his companions, they asked him, What did Jesus say to thee? Thomas said to them, If I tell you one of the words which he said to me, you will take up stones and throw at me, and fire will come from the stones and burn you up. Yeshua said, I am not your master. What then? The Lord, the Son of God, God itself? I am not your master. You have been born free. You came into being as a divine spark of infinite consciousness. You are an immortal entity. Many will try to enslave you by opposing themselves between you and your divine spark, your connection to your inner source connection, and my Father, but not I, not the I am presence, not Yeshua. You have drunk from the bubbling spring. You have drunk of the knowledge of the eternal, inexhaustible spring of life. Perhaps too fast, too much. Perhaps you identify the man at the spring with the spring itself. Look closer. The spring is also within you, bubbling, waiting for you, offering you all you can drink. Look. One can only wonder at what ghastly secret Jesus must have told Thomas. What terrible knowledge must have been imparted to his disciple, the consequences of which would result in instant stoning, instant death. In the days of Jesus, in the days of Yeshua, 4th dimensional Yeshua, 7th dimensional Sananda, only one such transgression called for such frightful punishment. Blasphemy. Blasphemy against the unspeakable name of God, the Hebrew God, the God of vengeance. And the secret, dear viewer, dear honorable, noble, notable viewer, it is my estimation, I suspect that Yeshua told Thomas the truth about his divine origin. Not only his own, but also Thomas's. As a son, as a fractal of God's source. Such realization would have been traumatic. To most people, it is equally as traumatic today. Yet it is the psalmist who had first spoken the 3 unspeakable words. Ye are gods, sons, daughters of gods. To other disciples 2,000 years ago, such an assertion would have sounded like blasphemy. What were those 3 words? Jesus told Thomas, you are God. So today, not many have the inner strength to face a mirror, look deep into their own eyes, search out the mysterious self within the depth of their own intent, unwavering gaze, and say, be still and know that I am God. You don't think so? Try it. Be still. In the act of meditation, go within. That is what baptism means. Meditation. Be still and know that I am God. Know that you are God. Later, just try it. Go on and try it. It is for enunciating this very truth that Jesus had been crucified. For telling the people, the Pharisees, the religious, the organized religion of his day, the Pharisees, crucified Jesus for telling the people that they were God. They had God within them, that God dwelled within them. The inner kingdom of God was within them, therefore nullifying and eradicating the need for any organized religion. The Pharisees, who were nothing but vultures upon the backs of the children of God. So this is what Jesus, when he took Thomas aside, he tried not to think about the rest of the psalmist's promise. Ye are gods, said David, whose name became the symbol of divine love. Ye are gods, but ye shall die like men and fail like one of the princes. We all know the psalmist was right about the second part of his promise. How about the first? How about the first, dear, esteemed, honorable, notable, and noble viewer? How about the first? Ye are gods. Go within and know that ye are gods.
Namaste, namaskaram.